Thanks everyone for being here. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. The chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams and Commissioner Snell. Any comments on the agenda? All those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And now to public comment. Public comment is now open. 3 minutes of public comment per commenter. Is there public comment? Last call for public comment. Public comment is now closed. We move on now to committee items. The minutes of last month's meeting. The chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Snell and Commissioner Bear. Any comments on the minutes from last month? Hearing none, all those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And now the medical care facility report. Madam Director is here. Good to see you, Destiny.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so we're going to get started on slide 3 of the presentation with the February 2025 financials. So revenue was $55,785, better than budget. Expenses were over budget by $84,433, leaving us with a net position behind what was budgeted of negative $28,648. Our census was just barely behind budget at 0.18 bed days behind budget. We did 41 admissions in the month of February and 37 discharges. Oh, I'm just rolling right along and you guys can't even see what I'm talking about. Okay. So this is in the other presentation, but I will keep going if that's okay. So moving to page 4 of that presentation, the year-to-date financials. Revenue year-to-date is $19,956 behind budget. Expenses are $104,983 better than budget, giving us a change in net position from operations of $85,027 better than budget. So we are still running a deficit, but better than the deficit we had planned for. And then census is running 2.4 bed days behind budget at the end of February. As of right now, or at the end of February, we had made up 6% of the deficit that we had anticipated. So I thought that was a good number for you guys to hear. On the next page of the packet, you can see our census trend line. So census continues to grow steadily. And then for our additional financial information, our accounts receivable days out remain at 55 days with a goal of 54. So we moved back in a positive direction there. Estimated cash on hand is 24 days. Again, that's taking out the money that's been earmarked for Medicaid that we've been discussing over the past several months. And it also does not include any of the money currently invested or MOE funds, which is an additional $4.5 million. So overall, we're still sitting in a good position there. We did amend our 2023 cost report. We had Plant Moran do a pre-audit of that for us after the last hiccup with the cost report, if we can call it a hiccup. So they did find that we were being overpaid by $1.29 per resident per day, which is an impact of about $100,000 over the course of the year. So that is something that we've discussed with the board, and then we'll have further discussion next month as far as whether there will be a budget amendment to address that issue. For our financial position that we've had open, because we're moving from our accounting firm, we did partner with Calhoun County Medical Care Facility and their controller, who's going to be doing a 3-month short-term contract with us to help us with those financials for the next 3 months, and then we'll take it from there. And that is my report. Any questions I can answer?
Questions for the medical care facility? I was going to ask about where we stand with the financial management, so thank you for that. Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to receive the report. Thank you, Commissioner Snell and Commissioner Bear. All those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. And now the Department on Aging, Madam Director Good to see you, Danielle.
Yep, good to see everyone. Just a few updates on our Soups On for Seniors event, kind of a summary of what's happened. You can see a lot of different successful things that occurred throughout that event, that we had over 265 people attend. One of the updates that I do have is that on here it shows 8 sponsors. Last week we did receive some email communication from Meyer, and they're actually donating $2,000 towards the Meals on Wheels fundraiser. So that's actually 9 sponsors now. So we've raised over $11,000 just on the sponsor side. Also with that, that actually brought up the amount to just over 28,000. There were some additional donations that came in near the end of the event. After I did this report, we had a gentleman that came to pick up a silent auction item. He shared with the person that he was working with that he had received Meals on Wheels back in 2023 for him and his wife, who has since passed. He's 87 years old. So he donated an additional $400 on top of his auction item. There was another person that donated another $150 when they picked up their items. So additional monies came in. So again, it's like $28,000 that was raised through that event. We had great feedback from the restaurants as well as the bakeries. We always kind of do a follow-up conversation to see if there's things that worked for them, things that they would like to see next year, see if they would like to participate as well. And for goodness cakes, out of Michigan Center, this was their first time there. They had a great experience. They saw customers that they have worked with and met new people. She's already planning on it for next year and is already planning on a lemon cupcake. That was some of the feedback that she got from the participants that were there of what they would like. So again, we're already planning for 2026. So if you want to hold the date of March 10th, we'll be having it again at the American One Event Center. So very great event. We're very thankful. One of the things that the board members added this past year was like a raffle ticket drawing where you could buy like 15 tickets for $10 or 6 tickets for $5. And just on that kind of raffle style for 8 items, they raised $685. So I think they'll probably expand a little bit on that next year. That was something new. They didn't know how it would go, but it was very well received. On the pictures that I included on the report, in that bottom section, there's one that shows like some of the board members in front of like a picture, and it showed like a meal van. And what we had done is calculated back from the 2015 event how much money they had raised, and it was just over $196,000. So they were able to kind of promote, what they've done throughout the years, how they've supported Meals on Wheels. It was something that we included on some like tabletop information for people to read as well. So they're going to be ecstatic when we meet this Friday and kind of go over the summary of the night of. It included a statement of contract award from Wellwise Services. And I know this appears a little bit older in the fact that it shows like 3/31 is the date of the statement of contract award. It was a 2-month award. It's not unusual that we'll go for a period of time and get like a 2-month award and then receive another one after that. So I anticipate after their board meeting on April 24th that we'll get another award for the April. It may just be for April, or it could be for April and May. The Older American Act funds that a lot of our funding comes through has been reauthorized through the federal government through 9/30 of 25. So we anticipate that some of that you'll see a growing amount of funds come through. Again, not knowing where everything is coming through on the federal side, there's some changes about organizational flow patterns of who's going to administer what funds. But again, those funds, the money was awarded, so we anticipate those funds to come through. Just an update, we had Eaton employees come in and do some different activities with our department. They're a great a resource to support the work that we do out in the community. They really like the Meals on Wheels program and kind of how that helps supports caregivers and older adults in the community. So they did come in and pack emergency meals. They packed over 500 bags. They actually came in and painted bowls, a group of them, for our 2026 event, and we kind of highlighted what what the event was before for them. And then they're planning to actually come back at the end of September when we kind of do our big rollout for emergency meals. So they're already planning a return date. So more to come on that. But again, it's been a great partnership with their employee group and helping, it supports us, and it also helps to educate their employees about the services that we provide in Jackson County. Just a little bit on a moment of excellence. This is just something that was shared with a team member. I'll just kind of read part of that for you. The senior had shared that a friend had been telling her to come and check out the senior center, and she finally did, and she stated to the employee she enjoys coming so much. It's a wonderful program. She's sorry she missed out on it for so long and didn't come sooner. So again, I think that's something that we hear as people come and check us out and see what we have to offer. They want to either bring a friend with them or definitely share the positive experiences that they have either through the meal program or through the activities that they attend. And I can answer any questions.
Questions for Danielle? I would note comments at the Soup's On from several folks who spoke of their admiration, and not even to say affection, for you and your crew for the hard work you put on. So congratulations and thank you for that. Commissioner Willis and then Commissioner Snell.
Yes, for the benefit of those of us that are chocolate resistant, could you refrain from posting pictures of moist chocolate cupcakes? It looks very, very nice. Looks very wonderful cake. I need to figure out where those are from, just to make sure they're healthy for everyone.
Those ones are from Goodness Cakes. They did a great job in displaying. Yeah, for the ABC Bakery, they actually just did a bread table. That was Randy's suggestion, and that went over very well. It definitely complemented the soups, so people really like that new addition.
Thank you. We have little resistance to chocolate. So.
Yeah, I just wanted
Commissioner Snell.
to parrot what Commissioner Pulaski said. It was a great event, great food, great people. Everybody had a great time. I didn't get anything off the silent auction, so but I did bid up a couple items. So thanks, and look forward to doing this again next year.
Yeah, and again, it's the Friends of the Jackson Senior Board, all their members that put the ideas and move things forward through that planning. So we're very thankful to them.
Good. Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to receive the report. Thank you, Commissioner Snell and Commissioner Willis. Any questions? All those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Danielle.
All right, thank you.
And now, the Health Department. Good to see you, Madam Director.
Hello. First item I have on the agenda is a request for new permitting software, requesting from the Hedgerow Software Company to implement for our environmental health permitting. There's a lot in the staff report and a really lengthy proposal that is in there, but all of that to say, after reviewing with IT and our needs in our department, we are requesting to go with Hedgerow. Currently, our software systems, Ben is here to attest to them that they are not only a security risk to our information technology and their ancientness, if that's a word, but also, they're very difficult. Data integrity is a questionable. It's something that's been in the process here for a while, and now we're ready to go forward with one. So my request is to enter into a 3-year contract with Hedgerow.
Questions for the Health Department on the software acquisition? I guess I would ask, give us an idea of the size of the permitting area that you have? In other words, we're spending $171,000 over 3 years to administer a budget of how much?
For environmental health is approximately, oh goodness,
Doesn't
six to
have to be
700,000.
700,000. In other words,
And
we
this
have to have
will-
it- we have
this
to have
will,
it to administer a pretty substantial budget appropriately.
Yes, and this will be all-inclusive of all of our permitting. We have a few different systems working on different things, so from food to well and septic to campgrounds to, it also has a much better user interface from the client's perspective to be able to enter their information and get that in, pay through that system, which we aren't currently capable of doing, so.
Would it be like campground reservations too?
Not campground reservations.
Okay, all
We
right.
have to inspect the campgrounds and inspect their wells.
Okay.
And if they have commercial kitchens and that kind of thing. So yearly we do that. So they would go into that.
That's another system. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt the staff recommendation. Thank you, Commissioner Williams and Commissioner Snell. Questions, Commissioner Bear?
Thank you. Got two minor questions. I see in the scope of work for this Hedgegrow software, campground inspections and activities. Now, the Parks Department inspects their campgrounds. What do you do beyond what the parks already do with their park campgrounds?
As I just mentioned, we have to do like their wells or any food or any other kind of services like that. That's a state requirement for passed down to the local health department to do. So if there's wells in all of the different campground areas, if they have a private well on that, not connected to municipal water, then we have to inspect that.
Okay, thank you. The one of the categories is nuisance complaint investigations. What kind of, give me an example, what's a nuisance complaint that would go to the health department?
Yeah, we receive a lot of complaints through our complaint system for a lot of things that even things that we aren't necessarily responsible for. That'll be something, it could be something, a building code or a dilapidated building, or whether it be garbage in someone's yard that we would then turn over to the municipality, the township, or wherever that place was. But I mean, from those kind of complaints to bed bugs at a hotel to general food service complaints to I smell sewage and I think my neighbor's, sewer system septic system isn't working correctly. So right now we have a couple different platforms that we use again to take in all of those complaints. And basically it's through, we receive the complaint through phone, email, word of mouth, and then we enter it into a system and assign it to be reviewed. Because any complaint that comes in like that, we have to have an answer to it. Either we, talk to the township or we went and investigated it ourselves.
Okay, thank you for that information. Appreciate it.
Any further questions with respect to the hedgerow question? All in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And now I think we're on to your report, am I not? Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, my monthly report is pretty straightforward. I won't spend a lot of time. There's not a whole lot of, there's a whole lot of work being done, but not a whole lot of new information for me to share. One of the things I did want to go to is on the very last page, just to give you a little bit of information. The county, as I'm sure you're aware, has the High Performance Organization, the HPO initiative through the county. And back when I started in 2021, our independent or department-wide HPO, which was the HPO Coordinating Council, a takeoff of the county initiative to do HPO and implement HPO, in our organization. We restarted that in 2022. So there's a little timeline. It's now called our B team. So if you ever hear me talk about the B team, it's building employee engagement. When we started in 2022, we had a really big focus on employee retention. How do we bring people into the health department after a lot of turnover after COVID? How do we bring them in and make this a nice place to work where, voices are heard, people are listened to? So it has stayed kind of in the same format of where it started back in 2011 to 2020, where we have representatives on our B team across our organization. So depending on, if it's WIC, they may have 2 employees. If it's environmental health, just the size of those areas. So we have representation, across the board with voices. We've now grown to do things like review policies. So as we go through as executive and supervisory teams, go through our individual policies, such as, as simple as, I can't think of something we've recently reviewed, but even our timekeeping, how we keep track of time, we have a policy for that and what's required of, taking time off within our department, or, our dress code and what's required, for summer attire versus winter attire versus, a jeans day and what jeans day entails, that it's not, it's not holes in your jeans. They have to be whole jeans that, make them up. But we now, have our B team, reviewing all of those things so they understand and they can have their input as well. Also doing just a lot of different things, to try, just as the county does, but to try to promote wellness, bring in guest speakers here and there, and, do some fun activities. We have very limited funding. We did have a grant that's going to end this year that was from the Michigan Association of Local Public Health that allowed us to do a few things with that. That's going to end, but I think the work will continue as far as, just creating a sense of togetherness. So I just wanted to point that out. It's something I'm proud of. We've taken it, actually a poster presentation to one of the Michigan conferences, and I think those that are on there, are proud to be on that team as well. So I just wanted to point that out. If you have any questions, feel free. Any questions, obviously, through the whole report, let me know.
So I asked to Arbor Village, there is a community meeting tonight in Arbor Village.
Oh, I did not know that.
And I didn't think to look and see whether the health department was copied with the message from Senator Shink's office, but.
Is it at the
it's at
Arbor Village in their,
6 o'clock at their little community room. Sorry for the late notice, but I didn't really think about it until just now that, about whether you guys had been invited to it or not.
yeah, I was not aware, but I will try to be there
Okay,
or send
I'm gonna
someone.
be there. Spring Arbor Township cannot be there, but I'll be there. And
Is Eagle going to be there?
Eagle is conducting it, actually.
Okay, good.
It's an Eagle meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to adopt the report of the Health Department. Thank you, Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Bear. All in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now claims. I have not seen the claims. Are they going back and forth? There they are. The chair will entertain a motion to pay the claims. Thank you, Commissioner Snell and Commissioner Williams. All those in favor of paying the claims will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Please take note of other minutes from the VA meeting and the medical care facility human services meeting. Reporting schedule for next month. April, Health Department, Department on Aging, Lifeways, Veteran Affairs, and Michigan Works Southeast. We are now back up to public comment. Public comment is now open. Is there any public comment? Last call for public comment. Public comment is now closed. We're now up to committee member comments. Are there any committee member comments? Seeing none, we stand adjourned at the call of the chair.